So firstly, I want to welcome you all to this first online training on getting started with AI tools like ChatGPT. So my name is Fiona Umpa. I'm the founder and CEO of Alfie Data Analytics. So I provide data analytics consulting services and AI tools guidance. In this short training, my aim is to answer three main questions. So what is ChatGPT? How can I use ChatGPT? And how can ChatGPT help me? And then we'll finish it off with a Q&A at the end. Okay, so what is ChatGPT? So ChatGPT is what we call a generative artificial intelligence chatbot, or we say GenAI for short. Okay, so ChatGPT was developed by OpenAI. So ChatGPT, what it specializes in is that it can answer questions, it provides summaries, write different kinds of creative content, and answer all your questions. So it's a generative AI chatbot. So when we say generative AI, it means that it refers to the AI that generates new content. We can sum it all up as you ask the question and ChatGPT will give an answer. And that is ChatGPT. So moving on, the second question. How can I use ChatGPT? For those who haven't used ChatGPT yet, well, the first thing to do is to sign up. Okay, so you sign up to their website. The second concept to know as well when you're working with ChatGPT is that you have to know the prompts. Okay, the third concept that you need to understand as well are the model versions. Okay, there are different versions of the models. Okay, and last but not the least, when you're working with this type of AI tools like ChatGPT, I want you to always have at the back of your mind that it can give inaccurate information. So you must always check its responses. Okay, the first thing, sign up. So let's see how you can sign up to ChatGPT. So signing up is very simple. If you're using a computer, you just go to the website chatgpt.com. Okay. If you have a smartphone, you can also go to Google Play Store and you install the app. Okay, so if I click on ChatGPT, this link here, okay, it's going to take me to the interface or the website of ChatGPT. Okay, so the first step is to connect. So once you sign up, whether on the website or on your phone, the next important concept to know are prompts. So what are prompts? So prompts are basically the instructions or the questions that you give to the AI, like ChatGPT, to tell it what you want it to do. Okay, so this word prompt is a technical term. If you go online, you'll hear people say prompts. Okay, so we'll also have to learn, these new terms. So when we see these words online, we know exactly what they're referring to. Okay, so prompts are just basically the instructions or questions that you write or you give to the AI. Just one thing before we go on. Because these prompts are the instructions that we give to the AI, we must know how to write them well. Because these AI tools, they are not humans, they are machines. And based on the way we give them these instructions or the questions, our prompts, they will understand it based on what we write, and they will reply based on what we instruct it to do. So that's why before we write prompts, we also have to, bear in mind some good writing tips, some tips to write better prompts. So the first tip is to be clear and specific. Okay, so you have to clearly state what you want so that the AI knows exactly how to respond. For example, here on the left, we have a prompt that is not clear. For example, how can I grow my business? That's not very clear. On the right-hand side, to improve this prompt, you have to be specific. What are 3 ways to get more customers for an SME in the food business? Okay, you are clearly saying that you are an SME and it's in the food business. And instead of saying, give me 5 or 10 ways, you said, just give me 3. Okay, so you are being clear and specific. Let's see an example of how this one is going to work if we just get this prompt and put it into ChatGPT. So I'll just copy this one that's not clear. I'll go over to my connection in ChatGPT, and then we're going to ask it. Okay, before I paste my prompt here, as we saw, the prompts are the instructions. The prompts are the instructions or the questions that we give to the AI, okay? So these prompts, we're going to write it in this text box here. So once you log in, you will have a text box, a space where you can write your prompts. So if I put this example prompt here, how can I grow my business? We know from our example, it's not clear. So let's see how the AI is going to respond to that. Okay, I'll just click this button and I'll say go, and then the AI is going to respond to that. Okay, let's see how ChatGPT is going to respond to that. This prompt here is not clear. How can I grow my business? Okay, it says, of course, growing your business is big and exciting. Go, let's break it down. And then it just goes and say some points about some other stuff. Okay, understand your customers. Okay, that's fine. Improve and differentiate your offer. Strengthen your online presence. Okay, it just offers a wide range of advice that it thinks that, okay, these are the possibilities or the options that you have to grow your business. Okay, but looking at all this information, you'll think, no, that's not exactly what I want. So that means you have to write your prompt and you have to make it be clear and specific. What do you want? How do you want the AI to respond to you? Okay, that was the first prompt. That wasn't clear. Now we'll get the second prompt, which is clear. What are 3 ways to get more customers for an SME in the food business? Okay, that's more specific. Let's get this prompt here. Go back to ChatGPT. Okay, and I'm going to paste it here in the prompt window here, the chat window. Let's see. Okay, if I can reduce this one. Okay. So if I now send this prompt away, this prompt is more specific and clear. Now it gets straight to the point. These are 3 ways to get more customers for a food SME. Okay, so now it's going to be specific on the food business. Okay, local visibility, community engagement, social media, for mouth-watering marketing. I mean, the sum of the information that it gives back, you'll be surprised. I mean, it's very creative in the information that it gives back. So what you have to do is to read through, understand, and then say, oh, this is what I need, or this is what I don't need. Okay, but based on the fact that the prompt has to be clear and specific, we see that from this example, it tried to be specific, or it gave us the response that's in regards to a food business. Okay, buy loyalty rewards. If you buy 5 meals, you get 1 free, etc. Okay. So be clear and specific. The next tip for writing better prompts is that you have to provide context. Okay. So what is context? So context is when you add background details, okay, to help the AI tailor its response to your situation or audience. Okay, for example, you just say, explain AI. If we get this prompt here, it's not clear. I mean, of course, you want it to explain AI, but to add more context, or add more background details, you can say, explain AI to a 10-year-old. Now you'll see that the way it's going to respond, it's going to be specific to 10-year-olds. Okay, let's test this. So if I get the first prompt without the context, for example, I copy that. I come back to ChatGPT. One thing that I want you to take note of as well is that when you are trying to write or ask the AI about a different topic, I would advise you that you create a new chat session. Okay, so then when you ask follow-up questions, it will know that you are still referring to the same topic. Okay, so if I were to paste it here, I'm mixing up the topic of giving me advice on how to grow my business with explaining AI. Okay, so we wanted to concentrate on one topic at a time. So this is a new topic, so I'm going to create a new chat session. So I'll just go up here and I'll click on ChatGPT to create a new chat session. Okay, so let's test out this prompt here. Our prompt was explain AI. So explain artificial intelligence. I'll just copy this one, go over to my chat window here and paste it. So this is very generic. Let's see what it's going to give us. Okay, so artificial intelligence is the ability of a machine like computer to perform tasks. Okay, and then it just goes on and on. And of course, how does AI work? It tries to explain it in regards to data, algorithms, and models. But we know that our focus is to explain AI to a 10-year-old. So imagine getting this information and giving it to a 10-year-old. Of course, they won't understand. But it's because of the way we wrote our prompt, explain AI. So the best thing that ChatGPT did was to give a generic explanation of AI. It went directly to the technicals, said, okay, you need, of course, data, the algorithms. It started to talk about models. But if you don't know about all these things yet, it's a lot of information. So that's why we are not going to use this prompt here, because our target audience are 10-year-olds. So now we're going to use another prompt, this better one with the context. We'll copy that. Go back to ChatGPT and we'll paste it here. Paste it in the prompt window. And we say, explain AI to a 10-year-old. Now let's see how it's going to reply. Sure, let's explain AI in a way a 10-year-old would easily understand. Okay, imagine if you had a robot or a computer that could think, learn, and make decisions, just like a person. That's what AI is. So you see the difference between the content that it gave above. The first one, it was talking about machines, computers, learning. I mean, these are the technicals behind AI. But when we asked it to explain to a 10-year-old, sorry, missed that. Where's my... So when we asked it to explain to a 10-year-old, it changed the way it explained the term and targeted it towards 10-year-olds. Okay, imagine you had a robot or a computer that could think, learn, and make decisions just like a person. That's what artificial intelligence is, or AI is. So provide context. You must add enough background details so the AI, it knows how to tailor or focus your response to your target audience. Okay, so the last tip for writing better prompts that I'd like to share with us all is use roles. Okay, so what are roles? When you use roles, it's a really powerful way to instruct the AI. So when you use roles, you make the AI adopt a tone, a personality, or expertise to match your needs. Okay, for example, you're a small business advisor who specializes in helping SMEs manage revenue and expenses. Your audience is a small trade store owner in a rural area. And your task is to give practical advice on tracking income, controlling expenses, and maximizing profit. So please use a friendly and simple tone. Please use a friendly and simple tone and present the information in easy to follow steps. Okay, so if I get this prompt here, I'll go back to my ChatGPT application. And as always, because it's a new topic, I'm going to create a new chat window for that. Okay, and I'll paste it in here. And let's see what the AI is going to give back to us. Of course, here's a simple, friendly guide just for a small trade store owner in a rural area. Okay, simple steps to track income, control expenses, and maximize profits. So running a small trade store is a big job, but managing your money doesn't have to be hard. Okay, track every kina you earn. Okay, it's trying to give some advice, but in a very simple way. Okay, how you can record all your spending, your expenses. Okay, the information as well, it's trying to simplify it as much as it could. Okay, so this is an example of how you can use roles. So now when we put this text here, you are a small business advisor. What it's going to do when we use roles is that it's going to be specific to that particular domain. Okay, because ChatGPT has a lot of knowledge in a lot of domains. Okay, so the use of roles is very powerful. It allows us to quickly zoom in on a particular domain that we want the AI to focus on. So this is role-based prompt template. Okay, so I've been using ChatGPT since what, 2023, 24, beginning of 2024, I think. And with all the prompts, the way I write the prompts, I find that the role-based prompt is very effective. Okay, because it allows the AI to quickly zoom in on that particular domain that you want it to focus on. Okay, so those were the three examples or three tips for writing better prompts. Okay, the third concept that I want you guys to understand when you're using these tools like ChatGPT are model versions. So what are model versions? Well, a model version is a specific edition of the AI. So it's built to have certain skills, strengths, and performance for different types of users and tasks. So every AI version, the model version, has specific features. Okay, so for example, if I go back to ChatGPT, so right now I'm logged in with a paid plan. I've got a paid plan. So that's why if I create a new chat window now, And on the top left-hand side, I'll click on this arrow here. You'll see that I've got a list of all these models. Okay, so these are the different model versions. Okay, so each model version has specific strengths and features. You can liken these model versions to like different models of a car, for example. So you have cars that are for to be in the city. So they are quite small and they are quite low. And then you've got like 4x4s that are made for the rough roads. Okay, so these model versions are the same. So there are certain models that are for specific simple tasks, and there are other models that are very powerful and they are for much more advanced tasks. Okay. So you as a free user, if you don't have a paid version, you won't see all these options here. Okay, so I've logged in another account. I'll show you when you log in as a free user. Okay. So this is so I'm logged in at another with another account, but as a free user. So on the top left-hand side, if I click on this arrow here, you won't see all the model versions here. Okay. But as a free user, you just have access to the 4.0 model, but with limited usage. So on the paid plan, we have access to all the different models. Okay, so the models are just the different editions, and each model comes with its specific features based on the task that you need it to do. Okay. ChatGPT, the least features, the model with the least feature is the 4.0 mini model. According to the OpenAI website, I think with the free users, you have access to the 4.0 mini, which is the model with the least features. So at times, the prompt that you see, the result that you get back, you'll see that the quality isn't that good. Okay, because you're on the free plan and it's like limited in terms of the features. Okay, and then you've got a middle range where it ranges from the O1 and then they've got all their versions. And then the most powerful model, the model version, is the O3 and the 4.0. Just to know for you, you must just know that based on the model, it's the different features or the task that that model is able to do. As a free user, I think you have access to the 4.0 mini, which is what I said, it's the model version with the least features. But you also have limited access to the 4.0 model. Okay, so the 4.0 model is ChatGPT's best model so far. Okay, so if I go back again on my slide, the most powerful right now is the 4.0 model. And for most of my tasks that I do, I'm connected by default to the 4.0 model. So if, for example, one day you want to pay for your license, a ChatGPT plan, just bear in mind that you have a list of different model versions available. Okay. Okay, so moving on to the final slide. How can ChatGPT help me? So ChatGPT can help you write and summarize information. You can use it to brainstorm ideas. I use ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas all the time. So, for example, before AI came to be, maybe you needed some friends to brainstorm ideas with. Well, right now, you don't, of course, you can still call up your friends and all that, but if you don't have anyone, just pick up your phone and start to chat and say, okay, I have an idea. I want to do this and that. Okay, this learning new skills is very powerful. Now the information with these AI tools, it's readily available. And even experts, even tech experts, they are amazed by how powerful these AI tools are. Okay, and then they can write code and many more. Okay, let's look at some examples. Business. So I'll just copy this prompt here. You're a small business advisor in Papua New Guinea. So this prompt is based on the role-based prompt. Okay, so I'll just copy this one. Let me read that first. Okay, so you're a small business advisor in Papua New Guinea. Help me generate a business plan. Okay, for my data analytics consulting business. So I provide the following services: data analytics, and I detailed that there, and AI tools guidance. Okay. So for example, for your case, if you want to start your business and you're trying to brainstorm some ideas on how to write your business plan, well, you can use this example here and just replace it with the services that you provide. You have to give it context, be specific in what you want it to do. Okay, so for me, I just gave it services that I provide. So if I copy that now, and I'll go over to ChatGPT, and of course, we'll start a new chat window. I'll paste it here. Okay, so let's see what ChatGPT is going to give back to us, because we need a business plan for our business. Okay, so here's a detailed business plan draft for your data analytics consulting business in Papua New Guinea. You have your business name, location. Okay, so this now is the format of a business plan. You have your executive summary, the services that I provide, doing some market research, looking at the business model. Okay, for those of you who have already done your business plan, I think the information that is presented here will be familiar to you, okay? For those of us who are still trying to start our business, maybe this is all new. But already the information that it's going to give here is a very good start. Okay, you have your financial plan for the goals for the first 12 months, your risk assessment, and then it just goes on and on. Okay, so for a first draft for your business plan, I think that's quite good. Okay, if I just scroll down, okay, so when you prompt these AI tools, what you'll notice as well is that it's going to ask you follow-up questions. Like it says, would you also like me to generate a PowerPoint presentation version of this plan that you could use to pitch to partners or clients? Or maybe a one-page summary. Okay. Well, these are some of the things that I didn't think about. If I'm happy with the content, okay, remember we said that when we use these tools, we must always verify results that come back. So if I look at this and I said, yeah, it's okay, why not? Let's start with this as a first draft. And I say, okay, I want a one-page summary. Okay. So let me say, please provide a one-page summary. Okay, and we send it away. Okay, let's see. One-page business plan summary. The mission, the services, the target clients, the business model, consulting workshop, okay, marketing strategy, competitive advantage, the goals, financial snapshot, okay. Okay, so and then it will just continue to propose some things, and then you can just go back and forth to discuss with it. So let me just continue on to the next example. Let's see this one. So this one is also a role based prompt. So if I select this one, act as a small business advisor in PNG, suggest 5 practical and low-cost marketing strategies that a local craft shop owner in Input Mosby can use to attract more customers. Okay, focus on ideas that are easy to implement, even with limited internet access. Okay, let's just copy this one and go over to ChatGPT. Because it's a new topic, I will create another chat window, a chat session, and I'll paste this one in. And let's see what ChatGPT is going to give back to us. 5 practical and low-cost marketing strategies. Okay, so that was another example for a business use case. Okay. One other example before I go on to education that I'd like to show you guys is that you can you can use ChatGPT to brainstorm your logo designs. Okay, say for example, I start a new prompt and I'm going to bring in my image. Just give me a minute to go get my image. Okay, so let's ask ChatGPT to help us brainstorm ideas for our logo. So for example, just copy this over. Okay, this is my logo design that I just sketched and I got a photo with my phone and I say, okay, please help me generate an image for my logo. Okay, I did a draft. It's attached. Make the color purple. Okay. So let's send it over to ChatGPT. It's got the image to guide it. And I said, okay, change the color to purple. Okay, let's see what it's going to do. Okay, so now it's going to generate an image. And let's see how good this logo image is going to be. LA data. Okay, so I think it didn't read well my writing here. So the text was Alfie data. So I can correct that. Let's just do that now. Please replace the text LA data, sorry, with Alfie data. Okay, let's just correct the text. So whatever changes that you wanted to make, you just prompt it again and it's going to correct the image. So let's see what it's going to come up with. Alfie data. Now that's nice. I like it. Okay, so moving on. The last example is in education. So I'd like to show you guys a custom GPT for a PNG Meds tutor for grades 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So firstly, what are custom GPTs? Let me start a new chat window. So on your phones, you'll see this option here, Explore GPTs. Okay. So I want you guys to click on that. When you click on Explore GPTs with your free account, okay, so with the free account, you have access to all these GPTs. Okay, there's a lot there. So what custom GPTs are, they are a copy, if you like, of ChatGPT tailored to a specific task. Okay, because when you are using the main chat GPT window here, I said that it's best to use the role-based prompt, because we try to guide the AI to focus on a particular domain, for example. Okay. So with these custom GPTs, it does exactly the same thing, but instead of prompting it every time, we already set it up in such a way that when you use this custom GPT, the focus of it is just to answer the questions based on that particular domain. Okay, so for example, I did this custom GPT. It's for PNG Meds tutor for grades 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so this custom GPT, it's based on the PNG syllabus. So for example, if you have kids in grades 6, 7, and 8, and they can't go to school because, I don't know, there's floods or the teacher is absent, and you still want to give exercises to your kids, well, you can come to this custom GPT and say, for example, generate grade 6 maths quiz on fractions. Okay, so for example, I click here, this prompt, and I say generate grade 6 math quiz on fractions. And because this custom GPT, the main focus is on the syllabus, you don't have to, I mean, of course, you'll have to be specific on the type of maths topic, but the whole focus is on grade 6, 7, and 8 maths syllabus. Okay, so now it says, okay, here's grade 6 maths quiz on fractions aligned with PNG standard-based curriculum, ASBC, and then it gives some maths exercises here. Okay, let's see. Sections A, multiple choice. Okay, give some answers. Did it give some answer for that? Let me see. Section B, short answer. Answer key for teacher use. Okay, then it gave some. Okay, so that section here, it gave the answers. But say, for example, you want an explanation of each. Okay, you can continue to say, please provide an explanation of each exercise. Okay, you prompt it again. So now it will give the question and also how it answered, how it came up with the solution. But we can also have one for the teachers. Okay, say for example, create a lesson plan for teaching probability in, what's the prompt here? Create a lesson plan for teaching probability in grade 7. Okay, so for teachers, they can also use this custom GPT to help them create their lesson plans, for example. Okay, and then it just goes on and does list down all the things that a teacher might need to prepare the lesson plan. Okay, so coming back to my presentation, that's an example of custom GPT. And this brings us to the end of our short training.